Beedrill EX and Meowscarada are the ultimate counter to those annoying Darkrai decks, and even versus other matchups, this deck is just extremely good and consistent. During recording, with all games played at Master Rank, I had a win-loss record of 5 wins, 2 losses. I think this deck is exceptional if you are playing at a rank bracket where everyone is playing Darkrai Giratina decks, as the Meowscarada really tears them apart. If you don't know me, I'm Sinner. I play a lot of Pokemon TCG Pocket, compete in tournaments, and I made it to Master with a 60% win rate, which I think is pretty solid. I put a lot of time into this video, so if you find it helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. It really helps out. This is the sort of setup you want while playing this deck, and you really want to make the opponent go through 2 Meowscarada lines before they even get to hit the Beedrill, if possible. Also, always keep in mind that if you think you are down and out, you always have the potential to paralyze with this friendly neighbourhood bug. Even delaying the game for just 1 turn is enough to swing some games in your favour. In this video, I over-explain my every thought process while playing my Master Rank games, so make sure to stick around and hopefully learn to play this deck. Coming in with the Cat and Bee combo, so we are going second versus a Dark deck. Meowscarada is really good against Dark decks, obviously, so this should be a favourable matchup for the deck. Just need to find Weedle as soon as possible. But we are going to be thinning our deck from grass cards. So let's see what we can do. I also would like to find the Frogger. I don't even know what the second evolution is called off the top of my head. Frog? I think beginning with F. Let's see, do I play this Brigatito down on the bench? So let's see, I don't run any Iono, and since we only run 1 Beedrill line, I think it is important to start building towards the second Meowscarada. So I will play him on the bench. So the win con of this deck is build towards Meowscarada as quickly as possible, since he's a 1-prizer, and then come in with the Beedrill to finish off any potential targets. I mean, this grass deck should be insane against this dark deck. Should be a free win, to be honest, but let's see how it plays out. We currently don't have the... I'm just going to look at what this card's called. Okay, so the card's called Florigato. So Sprigatito, Florigato, and Meowscarada. He does have the optimal setup for him. He just needs a Weavile right now, and he can't one-shot this Brigatito. If he had Dawn, he would have been able to put an energy on the back Darkrai and then Dawn it forward for a potential one-shot. But as it stands, he can't do that. So if we do hit the Florigato, I'm going to start building it on the back Sprigatito. I'm just going to let this front guy die. But falling to 20 health is a real nightmare for me because he can just ping it off with Darkrai now. So that is actually really unfortunate. There's Erica, but it's not surviving for another turn. We're going to have the Weedle. So we have Weedle. Next turn we have Kakuna. But it seems like we're banking on Beedrill to sweep this game. Beedrill requires 2 energy to attack. However, the Kakuna attack could be important, although it is a 1 energy attack, so I technically could have placed the energy on this Brigatito. But this is fine. I know they like to run at least 1 copy of Team Rocket Grunt in this Darkrai deck. I mean, I played this deck a lot as well, and the version I was running had 2 Team Rocket Grunts, but I know most people only like running 1. So let's see. The most he can do is 40 damage if he doesn't evolve. Weavile would only do 30, so he's never one-shotting whichever Pokemon I put in. But I think I need to maximize the amount of health that my eventual Beedrill has. So I'm just going to use this Brigatito as a tank for 1 turn while I get towards Beedrill. And then we're hoping Beedrill can come in and sweep the rest. He's quite tanky, surprisingly, so he should be able to win us this game. There's a Kakuna. So I am going to place the Florigato because he could have cards like Mars, and it's also possible that he doesn't even have the Weavile to one-shot it next turn. So may as well play it, no reason not to. If I Erica, it heals to 90. No, the Erica's a waste. It's important to save the Erica for the Beedrill. Increases our odds of winning. If he has Sabrina, he can cut our hopes and dreams right now, but since he did that, he obviously doesn't have Sabrina. Sabrina would have been game losing. I still think we have a good chance in this game, even though it looks kind of doomed. Even if he has the Weavile, which he doesn't. Bro can't stop hitting heads. What is happening? When I hit play Sneasel, 2 tails every time. But I still think we're in a really good spot. So I can bring Beedrill in right now, start attacking. Or I could even just attack with Meowscarada. Let's see. Meowscarada is on 60 health, I believe. So if I Erica it back to above the range, yeah, this is looking good. So if I heal it to 110, he's never one-shotting it. Wow, this deck is actually crazy good against that dark deck. It's literally unwinnable for him. Completely unwinnable. He can never do 110 against the Meowscarada. Even if he Sabrinas, this Beedrill is just going to tear him apart anyway. I'm just trying to think of what he could possibly have to swing this game. But he does Sabrina. He can push 100 damage now. Then I can just retreat and one-shot him. Maybe he has Cape. But we have 2 red in hand, so we can one-shot that. Obviously, he doesn't know that. So yeah, he's going for that play. He's hoping we don't have red. He knows that Meowscarada would have put him at 10 health. Now we have the red, we can finish him off. Sure on the red. Boom. Look at that card art. Destroying Darkrais for days. Beautiful. GG. So we are going first against a Psychic deck. Probably Giratina Mewtwo. Could just be Giratina 18. We are forced to start the Weedle, which isn't ideal. We would much prefer the Sprigatito. But it's not the end of the world. No other basics currently. Mars would really screw us, but honestly, the hand isn't that good anyway, so I think we can evolve the Kakuna into Weedle next turn. So no Mars. Looking like we're safe to evolve into Kakuna. But we do 20 damage, but we'd also take 20. That would mean the Beedrill would be on 150 later on. Let's see, do I think that attacking now is worth it? The paralysis doesn't matter because I wonder if he can still do his ability when paralyzed. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how that interaction works. I know they can't retreat or attack, but can they do abilities still? I guess I'll find out. But not right now, because I don't think I'm going to attack. I don't think I'm attacking. But if I put him to 130, does that do anything? Beedrill does... So Beedrill does 80. So Beedrill does 80. I'm going to opt to not attack. I think the correct play is to not attack here. So he does actually have Mars. and he's scared that we had the Beedrill right then, but he's actually helping us have a chance of drawing it. But we did put a lot of cards back into our deck there, so not ideal. Let's see, we have the Sprigatito, I mean the Florigato to evolve. Now we just need to find Meowscarada. Wait, there's no basic Pokemon actually in the deck, that's funny, we only run 3. So let's see. The players to put energy on the Florigato, obviously. He's one-shotting the Kakuna next turn, so we are going to try and paralyze to prevent that. Does the Sprigatito matter? In the event that he has Sabrina, I am going to play the Sprigatito, just so we can sacrifice this guy. And the red. Do I need to red right now? I don't. I honestly don't need to red. It's important to save the red for potentially one-shotting another Mewtwo or Giratina. This Giratina is always going to be in one-shot range. Even if he heals it to full, he can never put Cape on it now. And after it attacks, it'll always fall to 130. Our out here is to get Meowscarada, so Professor's research on Meowscarada gets us the win. We didn't hit the Paralyze, so he does kill us right now. I get a turn looking for a Pokemon with Sprigatito, but then if he just Sabrina's in the Florigato, it's GG, no chance. I think the odds of... How many cards has he got in his deck? He's got 8 cards still in his deck. I mean, it looks like he's playing Giratina 18, so he probably really likely has Sabrina. He's probably running 2. I think we have to pray. It's so unlikely that we draw the Meowscarada. Yeah, so the odds were really low. I think this is our best chance of winning. We also need to pray that he doesn't have the Sabrina. There's a Meowscarada. He has 6 cards in hand. Let's see if he has Sabrina. Yeah, there's the Mewtwo. There's the Cape. He's retreating, okay. So that means he doesn't have Sabrina. We're pushing 130. He's pushing 50, okay. Oh, if he has a second Dawn, he can one-shot the Meowscarada. Yeah, I see. I could Cyrus. Does Cyrus do anything? I can push... No, I think the players to research here and try and look for the second Meowscarada, because he's going to use his 150 energy on... So there's the Florigato. Thing is... We don't really have... I wonder if the player was ever to do 40 damage with the Florigato in the front spot there. That might have been the play, you know. So we're forcing to have him to have the Dawn here. If he doesn't, we win. If he has it, we still have a turn to set up the Florigato, the second Meowscarada. Obviously, the downside of hitting for 40 with the Florigato there is there's a very high likelihood that he's running Nurse Joy, Pokemon Center Lady, and 2 potions. So if he just heals the 40 damage that we do, we're screwed. So that's why I feel like this line was just better. We're forcing him to have the Dawn. And even if he has the Dawn, he falls back down to 2 energy. And we would have a chance. So next turn... So yeah, the play here is to Cyrus in... Oh, he healed to full, so we can't Cyrus. That's a nightmare. We should still be able to win. I wonder if Sabrina does anything here. If I Erica, I go to 140 and he's never one-shotting anyway, so this should be a win. This should be a win. Unless he's running Giovanni. There actually honestly is a good chance that he is running Giovanni, because he probably knows that there is a lot of Meowscaradas on the ladder targeting dark decks. So honestly, there is a good chance that he teched at least one Giovanni in. And the fact that he's not conceding says he probably does have the Giovanni. So let's see it. That would be interesting. Cyrus is in this guy. That's not going to cut it. That really isn't going to cut it. I guess he's hoping that we don't have red. Yeah, that doesn't cut it. And he concedes. Yep, we had the red anyway. GG. That was a pretty cool game. But we're going second against a fighting deck. I'm not really sure how the matchup goes against fighting. Obviously, we're favoured against Dark and EX decks. But he's running Lucario, which means Rampardos most likely. Rampardos, Hitmonlee, maybe one Sudowoodo, maybe one Marshadow. Which means no EX Pokemon for our Meowscarada to hit into. So I am actually interested to see how this matchup goes. So let's see. We do Pokeball. And we'll start ramping. We'll start pulling grass Pokemon out of our deck. Does Giant Cape matter? If he had exactly these three cards, X-Speed, Lucario, and Craniados, he would then be able to one-shot Sprigatito, which Giant Cape would play around. Late game, Beedrill has 170 health. I'm just trying to think if the cape would need to be on Beedrill at some point in the game, or if I could just place it on the Sprigatito right now, even though he would need an exact 3-card combo. I don't really see many X-Speeds in this deck, and he would need exactly the 3-card combo, so I am going to be a little bit greedy here and hold on to the cape, because it's unclear if I'm going to need the cape later on for Beedrill. Let's see what he does. So he does have the Craniados. Marshadow. Okay. I'm going to evolve to Florigato and push 40. He's going to evolve. So Florigato is going to be on 70. If he has Lucario, this guy would be dead next turn. So I am going to now place the K. And that way Meowscarada can get some hits off next turn. So let's see. I'm going to push the 40 as well. I think it's really important. So if he retreats next turn and attacks with Craniados and evolves into Lucario, Lucario has a 2 retreat cost, so we can Cyrus that guy back in, and his Lucario will be stuck in the front spot for a while. His Rampardos is never one-shotting Beedrill. So I take that back. If he had Lucario plus red, then his Rampardos would one-shot Weedle. Okay, so he's bringing in the Rampardos to one-shot Florigato right now. He falls to 100. Let's see. I think the play here is... He is weak to grass. So the play here is to send Weedle, hopefully top deck Kakuna and Paralyze. Okay, so we didn't top deck Kakuna. So here what we do is we build towards our second Meowscarada. If he kills this Weedle, he falls to 50. And grass is super effective against him, so the 60 damage will finish him off next turn. Although we would be evolving into Meowscarada, so ultimately that doesn't matter. So he does have Sabrina, that means he's one-shotting. That means he is one-shotting the Florigato. So at this point we need Kakuna into Paralyze, into Beedrill. And then we have to hope that Beedrill sweeps the game. It is kind of crazy that he got his Rampardos on turn 3. Obviously it's going to happen in some games. So let's see. We need Kakuna right now, otherwise it's GG. That isn't Kakuna. I'm just trying to think. No, there's nothing we can do. GG. So we're going second against a water deck. I do feel like we are really good into most water decks here. Because let's think about the opposition. It could have been Articuno 18, it could have been Gyarados. It is Palkia 18 most likely. Or he could be running Manaphy Vaporeon. A lot of those decks are energy dependent, so Beedrill would be taking that energy off per turn, which would give us a good advantage. Okay, so we're versing Palkia plus Giratina. That's a pretty interesting deck. The next turn he's going to be hitting us for 30. I'm just trying to think if Sabrina's ever relevant here. I think it isn't relevant right now because we want to be killing the Palkia as soon as possible. We do just have to pull a grass Pokemon and end our turn. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like we need to kill the Palkia as soon as possible. Then when the Giratina attacks and falls to 130, it's a lot easier to one-shot that. He opts not to attack. That's really strange. I don't know why he wouldn't attack there. Let me think. I genuinely can't think of a single reason. He probably just misplayed. Let's see. We're going to Pokeball first because there's only one Pokemon back in our deck. We don't want to risk drawing that with research. So we're looking for Florigator right now to push 40. We do hit the Florigator. I'm going to use the Pokeball. That way we're playing around Mars. We don't want the Pokeball going back in our deck. So here, we'll push 40. And I am going to jam the Weedle and Sprigatito down. And push our 40. So if he had hit it, we'd be on 60. Honestly, I don't think him not hitting turn 1 matters. Obviously, it is a massive misplay, but I don't think it matters in the long run. For him to win, he needs to get off. Actually, it really does matter because the Meowscarada is going to have 140. Which means Giratina can never one-shot it unless he's running Giovanni. He does have Irida, but it doesn't matter. We're one-shotting this Palkia right now. And that 30 damage is actually going to matter. Yeah, it really does matter. Let's see. Yeah, we just take the kill on Palkia now. I'm just trying to think if Sabrina matters. If I were to Sabrina, I'd put him to 20. He would attack and then die, but he most likely is running 2 Potion, another Irida, maybe even Poker Center Lady. So we're just going to take the kill on Palkia now. He would need Giovanni, and then he could one-shot. But is he running Giovanni? I doubt it. At most, he'd be running 1 Giovanni, so he would have to have it. And even then, it's not game over for us, because he falls to 130. We have chances for Paralyze, we have chances to draw Beedrill, Florigator. So let's see what happens. And if he doesn't have Giovanni, yep, and it's over, GG. So that him missing his turn 1 attack actually does matter. And the fact that he is playing at Master Rank and he didn't attack is kind of strange. Like you can see, I genuinely am playing in a Master Rank game here. Quite high, and he just doesn't attack turn 1. So I'm going first against a water deck. I am forced to start Weedle, which is not ideal. He's going second, so his Magikarp start is not as bad as it seems. I'm going to Pokeball first. Because he can just leap out to Manaphy or Palkia if he wants to get to safety next turn. So Sprigatito down. We have the Meowscarada line. We just need to find Kakuna for our Weedle. I think this is a favourable matchup. The most scary thing he could do right now would be to play a Manaphy and Palkia and then leap out into Manaphy. If he doesn't have the Palkia, it's really not as scary. He's going for Misty. Does hit Tails, thankfully. I've had enough games at Master Rank where my opponent has hit multiple heads on Misty. He does have the second Magikarp. He's going to leap out. We can't just Sabrina and do anything about that. Let's see. We're just going to draw 2. We're not too worried about cards like Mars or Red Card in this Gyarados deck. They don't really run it. Let's see. Is it worth pushing 20 damage now? Just trying to think. Does the 20 damage do anything? I mean, it's not like I can retreat into Sprigatito to draw a grass Pokemon this turn. So I am going to evolve. So I am going to attack with the Weedle. I was just considering if it's worth to put the energy on the Florigato just in case he Sabrinas and I can attack with Meowscarada next turn. However, after thinking about it, Kakuna would be a really good card to top deck, because if we paralyze the Manaphy for a turn, that would slow his water generation down a lot. And we are always going to need the 1 grass energy on the Weedle to retreat anyway, so this is the correct line. Yeah, he has Irida, so the 20 damage ultimately didn't matter, but I guess we have forced the Irida out. I mean, most likely we're always two-shotting the Gyarados anyway, so I don't think the Irida would have got out of range of that. Let's see. We're just going to evolve, just in case he is running some sort of hand disruption, even though it's unlikely. And we'll just attack with our Weedle. Quite a slow start for us this game. Maybe the play genuinely was to never evolve into Florigato and try and pull my grass Pokemon out while he had a slow start. I mean, it sounds wrong to say that. It genuinely sounds wrong, but yeah, that would be wrong. I think we can't use results-based analysis based on the fact the cards we did draw to say that it was a correct play. I think what we did was definitely correct. It just looks rough because we've got bad draws. Let's see, I can retreat into Meowscarada to finish this Manaphy off now. But then if he has Gyarados, he just comes in and one-shots me and it's game over. I really need the Kakuna. And this hand is really bad. He has 1 card in hand. I guess I just have to hope that he doesn't have Gyarados. I think that's the best play that I have. We don't have Kakuna in sight. We don't have another Sprigatito to build towards the second Meowscarada. Does Cape do anything here? Yeah, Cape survives us a turn, even if he hits heads on Palkia. And every turn we can get here is really important. And we also run Erica. So let's say he hits heads and we fall to 20. I can Erica up to 70, and he would need a second heads to one-shot. But as I've explained, we're just hoping that he doesn't have his Gyarados, and then we get some more turns to build up for our Beedrill. This is saying that he currently doesn't have Gyarados, but he does hit the Professor Research, so next turn it's looking scary. He's going to place a 3rd energy and attack, then next turn he can retreat into Gyarados. So I really need Kakuna right now. What are our potential draws? 4th Research down, 6 cards in the deck, we run 1 Kakuna. Wait, or to 2 retreat costs, so yeah, he does get to retreat. So we need Kakuna right now and hope to paralyze. That's our out. Paralysis. He does remove his own energy. Does Sabrina do anything? Not really. Is there anything we can do here? Anything at all? I guess I just Sabrina in hopes he puts in his Palkia as a misplay. He doesn't, and that's GG, we lose. So we're going second against a Dark deck. This is a really good matchup for us. Could be Weavile Darkrai, could be Darkrai Giratina. Regardless, we're definitely favoured in the matchup. We're starting Sprigatito, which is really good also. We have the Floragato already. We're going to be pulling Grass Pokemon from our deck. But overall, it's looking like a pretty good start for us. Let's take our free win. So, Pokeball. So, I am worried about cards like Mars or Red Card, so I am going to Pokeball. And I am going to place it down. And then we'll thin our deck out. If I knew his deck list exactly, for example, if I was in a tournament, I would have held the Pokeball there for sure. Because that would increase our odds of drawing the... Basically, our next Pokeball is a dead card because we've drawn all of our basics. And I wanted to prevent that. But since we don't know his deck, I was worried about... hand disruption like Mars or Red Card. So here, we don't have Meowscarada ready. I'm never attacking with the 40. He's going to go to his second energy. Maybe the play here is build up the back Sprigatito and just draw another grass Pokemon. Because if I evolve now and don't hit Meowscarada, it's looking doomed. It really is looking doomed. So this is the correct play. Does Giant Cape do anything? No, I don't think it does. Plays around hand disruption. I think the Cape is going on this Floragato. Because from his point of view, he's probably really scared that we have Meowscarada in hand currently. Although if he's smart, he'll realise that if I had Meowscarada, I would have evolved the front Sprigatito. Because then I could have started attacking with the Meowscarada next turn. So if he's paying attention, he knows that I don't currently have Meowscarada. But he does know I have one grass Pokemon. All of this is just mind games so that I could potentially play around Mars. Which there's a good chance he is running one copy of. We still don't have the Meowscarada. We just keep thinning our deck out, I guess. Does Sabrina do anything? I think Sabrina doesn't do anything. Wait, did he just forget to put his... He forgot to put his Dark Energy. That was really strange. Why are these players at Master making so many misplayers? So he does have the Mars. I knew he was going to have that card. Well, we played around it to the best we could. We do hit the Professor's Research. As I said, this Pokeball is now a dead card. He could be running a second Mars though, so I will play it just to get that out of hand. We're just looking for Meowscarada now, and then we can start one-shotting. So we really want Meowscarada right now. We do hit it. Now we can start swinging. We also have the Kakuna. So we one-shot here, and we have the red for the one-shot next turn. He would need Cape to survive that. Yeah, this deck is just too good at countering Darkrai decks. I'm going to build up the Kakuna, now that if we get Beedrill, we can start attacking. And we one-shot. Let's go. He doesn't have the third Psychic Energy set up on Giratina, so he's never attacking next turn. This is looking like game over. He would need a second Mars to get red out of our hand. Because we'd only be drawing one card. Other than Mars, I can't really see what he could have. Maybe Team Rocket Grunt and hit 2 heads, which would set us back a turn. But even then, he's not one-shotting the Meowscarada. He would then need Giovanni. And I played this deck a lot. I even made a video on the channel about it. And I even got Master Ball rank. This deck is showcased in my Master Ball rank video. And they definitely don't run Giovanni, as far as I'm aware. But he is out of range of the one-shot. But we put him to 20. We put him to 20 anyway. And that way he needs some sort of healing. My version of the deck runs 2 Poké Center Ladies and 1 Pokeball. I mean, 1 potion. So he is running healing right now. but he can then never one-shot the Meowscarada unless he's teched in a Giovanni. Which one's it? Oh, okay, I see. So he does the 20 with the Darkrai, and now he is one-shotting. We can come in with the Kakuna next turn. Hopefully paralyze. Hopefully draw Beedrill. 1 in 7 to draw Beedrill. Let's see. So I'm going to put Kakuna in the front spot. I could Erica Sprigatito, send him in, and tank for 1 turn. Does Sabrina do anything? So let's see. Sabrina, and then hit, puts him to 100. Beedrill then does 100 and reduces an energy next turn. Or I can just try and paralyze this Giratina. And it would allow us to do Erica. I think this is the play. So we're playing around Cyrus. We have a chance to paralyze. And then if none of that goes through, we have a chance to top deck Florigato. We don't hit the paralyze. So he's falling to 10. So we need to basically hope that we hit Florigato top deck because he's one-shotting. So we need Florigato 1 in 6. We played our outs the best that we could. It's crazy that I'm losing to this deck even though it's a counter deck. That's just the way it goes sometimes. He had the Mars right when he needed it to get rid of a big hand that I couldn't play any cards down from to play around it. So we need Florigato now. He could have healing to put out. Oh no, he's going to fall to 10. So he would need... He's used his 1 potion. I only run 1 potion anyway. He might be running 2. He's thinking pretty hard about something. Maybe he has Mars. I genuinely don't know what he could be thinking about. He's going for the 1-shot. Maybe he has second Mars and he's thinking that I have Florigato and he wants to play it. Am I missing something? I really don't know what he's thinking about. He retreats into Darkrai. Okay, so that's what he was thinking about. But he can't go for the kill now. That was terrible. I guess he thought that I had... He really thought I had the Florigato. That's how scared he was. But I think he had to bank on me not having it. I genuinely think he made a misplay there. So now we can just come in and Cyrus the Giratina for the win. If he just attacked, he would have won. That's the sort of situation where he got in his own head. He started to, like, think about things wrong. His best play was definitely just to attack there. GG.